the Dork Podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the Dork Podcast. Keefe Davey. It's the Dork Podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag Dork Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is Rick Von Dix. All hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan. Davey, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Rick Von Dix. I don't know. Anytime we can have a pun in there,
yeah,
or some sort of dick joke, I think
well,
we're off to a hot start.
Yeah, penis is definitely also sort of one of the stars of this show was Bix.
That's right.
Sort of in that ballpark. We'll have much more on that coming up. But man, what a time! What a time to be alive as a Star Wars fan.
Indeed,
a lot happening.
So, you want to hear what happened to me this weekend? By the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I do.
So softball season's been going. It has its ups and downs.
Sure.
And was it Mookie Wilson? I know this isn't like a real quote, so you didn't really say with that whole thing. It was like, when you're slumping, I think about dinosaurs. Like I believe in dinosaurs, and then so that means dinosaurs believe in me.
I like it.
And then I'm out of the
slump.
slump.
I've heard that. Yeah.
So we enter this tournament that we're supposed. It's basically the NIT for like New England prep school softball, right?
Okay.
We go in there as the 9 seed and have to play in to this tournament.
Oh wow.
So we have to play Thayer at 8:00 in the morning at Thayer on Saturday, and then if we win, we get to play in the tournament.
Okay.
Won the whole goddamn thing.
You won the whole tournament? You won
as a play-in team.
Wow. It looks like it's time for somebody to update their LinkedIn.
Seriously. So we beat Thayer, then beat Tabor, the 1 seed.
Wow.
And then beat Milton to win the whole goddamn thing.
You guys found a little magic there.
Found a little magic there.
It sounds like the team really
maybe it's just playing 3 games in a day, which I don't know. Like my kids are still little, but like I don't know how kids like do that every weekend. Yeah, like these like psycho parents who go to like showcases and stuff every weekend. Like, how do you do that?
That's the thing. I'm sure it's super fun. I'm sure the kids absolutely love that part of it.
Kids are so tired. It was awesome.
Dude,
that was my weekend.
No other time to bring it up. My cousin's daughter just won the Class 6A Georgia State Championship for girls soccer. So like a legitimate case could be made. She's on the best high school soccer team in the country.
She's a Yellow Jacket.
She's the Yellow Jacket. Yeah.
Pretty
badass.
That's pretty. I like saying like we won a state title in Texas for football. Like you probably have the best high school football team.
Yeah, you might have the best one going when you're like at like one of the biggest high schools in the state. And so pretty good stuff. Yeah, it's that time of season. And that what I learned is apparently a lot of states play soccer in the spring, like half, because I was like, isn't that a fall sport? And they're like, well, like a lot of southern schools play
year round.
Like,
but this is the argument that I was trying to make. My sister and I were talking about it, moving baseball and softball to the fall for New England schools because we have better weather in the fall. Like it doesn't start getting really bad until like November.
Yeah, right. As long as you get your whole season in before Thanksgiving, you might be able to get it done.
Yeah, because
rather than waiting till the fields to thaw and like May. Yeah,
we had 1 game this season. We had to reschedule it 5 times.
It wasn't meant to be.
Was not meant to be. Well, we still had to play it, which was but whatever. Yeah,
it stinks. That's the pits. All right. Well, we have a lot of shit to get to, so let's just get to this.
This week in Dork.
All right, we just had the penultimate episode of season 2 of The Last of Us. How do you feel? How do you stand on The Last of Us?
I am a broken person after this episode for all the right reasons. And one of the things I loved about this episode, we'll talk about it a ton, I'm sure. The fact that like Neil Druckmann directed it.
Yeah.
And I think he's
very video game heavy. Yeah.
He's the only one who could have done what he did in that episode.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one where we kind of knew it was coming. It was the flashback episode. So next week we'll do a full season 2 of The Last of Us episode recap or review. I don't dislike it by any stretch, but 2 things have sort of jumped to mind. And I don't often get to be the book was better person because I don't read a ton of books. The last time I said that was the Da Vinci Code. I literally read the book first.
Oh, the book is good. By the way, you are correct in that as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to bag on the show, But I remember the Da Vinci Code, loved it. Me and my mom, who also read it, we went to the theater together and we saw the movie. And we're like, it's good, but we like the book a lot better. Anyway, haven't had a lot of chances to do that. The video game is one of the all-time great video games, if not the greatest video game of all time. And for this season, more than last season, I come away being like, man, the game was better. Like that same scene in the game was better. Or like at least season 1, there were like they took a couple side detours that were like, that's cool. Like I didn't know that, or like whatever. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. And then my other takeaway theory right now is depending on how they stick the landing in season or the finale, I like Fallout more than I like Last of Us.
Fallout's way more fun, right?
It's definitely more fun. Yeah, I mean, Last of Us is obviously very emotional, but both are post-apocalyptic. Both are video games.
So my question is, and how they're going to do this. So yeah, I like you. I think the game, obviously the game's better because it's more immersive, right?
Yeah.
And there's less of, you get more Ellie and you get more, we haven't seen Abby in episodes now. And
yeah,
so
man,
what's his name?
I was hoping we'd get a quicker bounce back to Abby.
Who's the other showrunner was like, actually, we're going to need a season 4. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, the way this is going, I'm like, this is the end of season 2. I'm like, we're not even close in the game. Like, how much more game is left? Like,
so much more. And like, 75%? I keep telling, oh my God. And I keep telling people who haven't played, like, it gets worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, this is like a gut punch after gut punch. I go, no, it gets worse.
Yeah, hang in there.
Yeah.
Hang in there. Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll have much more on that next week. A couple of trailers since then, since our last episode. Superman trailer, another new one, lengthier, girthier.
Yeah, well, meteor.
I trust James Gunn. James Gunn makes great movies.
Yeah.
However, am I crazy? It looks kind of shit.
It starts off with like this really good premise of Lois Lane interviewing Clark Kent, but as Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I love this idea that like, I really need, and as grounded as you can in terms of like a human Superman, because I really think that like a Superman would be like, eventually like Dr. Manhattan would just get bored with us.
Yes.
And like all your stupid shit that you try to do all the time. Yeah. But this guy is like, this Clark Kent is like trying to defend himself. Like normally Superman would be like, oh, and he would like high road it. I've liked that David is a corn sweat.
Yeah, David.
I keep saying Cronin sweat, but it's corn sweat.
It's corn sweat. Yeah.
Gets like pissed off.
Yeah.
He's like pissed about it. Like I think I'm just trying to help. It's like, well, you entered our country illegally. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want me to do? I feel like this is gonna sound stupid, but like if I were Superman, like that's how I would react to things like that. Like,
yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Right.
And I like that. Now to your point, looks a little janky.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
But a guy's got a great hit rate, so like I trust him. But so that'll be July that bad boy comes out. We got the trailer for Ironheart, a series that I'm not sure anybody was really dying to get, but here we are.
But I think so. Someone was saying, they brought up a good point that like the reason you hadn't seen a trailer, like this comes out in like 2 weeks or something, right?
Yeah, that's weird. What the?
But like the fact that you hadn't seen a trailer is because like Ryan Coogler refused to like put his name on it until like the Sinners run was done.
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
He's like, I'm not touching this. I want my movie. I'm going to promote my movie, and then I'll worry about something that I'm like an executive producer on.
Which is still killing it, by the way. Sinners is just raking in money as it should. It was 3rd at the box office this week.
Still? Oh, wow.
Did you see what number 1 was with a bullet?
What?
Final Destination Bloodlines, and it's getting wildly good reviews.
So Tony Scott is in this, I guess, and it's like his last movie role.
Tony Todd,
not Tony Scott.
Yeah.
Also pick of the pod.
Yeah,
Tony
sadly.
Scott. But Tony, so he's like the last line he says is like completely ad lib, and he says it like right into camera, and it's actually pretty nice. Yeah.
I like all these movies. I don't know if we have time because we are up to our hogs and content or topics, but all 5 Final Destinations are currently on HBO Max. And this one is getting like, it's got a high Metacritic. It's got a high Roddy T's. Who had this in the, who got this in the Mac and Goo draft? I got to figure this out. This is going to do way better than anybody thought.
Final Destination?
Yeah.
I think you did.
I usually take horror movies, so I feel like I have a chance at it, but it's kicking ass. Novocaine is currently on Paramount. A lot of movies from the January, February, even March release schedule from 2025 are now streaming, including Novocaine.
Yeah. Do you want to watch an action movie starring Ants in My Eyes Johnson, who can't feel anything?
Yeah, I kind of do.
This movie's for you.
Yeah,
I've actually seen it. It's pretty good. I would give it like a 4.5.
Yeah, I would agree. Same. And then
that Jack, what's his name?
Quaid.
He's charming. He's a charming young man.
I mean, his parents kind of raised him for it.
Nepo baby bullshit.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. Get somebody who earned it. The Mickey 17 comes to HBO Max at the end of the week. I'm
excited to watch that.
No, looking forward to that. Video game minute today, or
yeah, why not?
Okay.
It's time for Davey's video game minute, even if it takes more than a minute.
All right, sir.
So we get some news here a little bit. First of all, we're starting off our new season. We're continuing on, even though NCAA football 26 will be out imminently. We still press on.
Yeah.
I don't know if this game is just getting harder for me.
Well, we upped the difficulty.
We did again?
No, not again. No, this is the second season I think we've been up to.
Man, this game is hard. It is hard. I stink at passing. I can't do it. I know you're so good at it. I don't know how, but
I chuck it all over the yard. My defense could use a talking to, but I can throw the ball.
So there's that. Doom: The Dark Ages came out to pretty good reviews. I love Doom games. I really do. So this is my next kind of play through here. Let's see other stories that I just saw. So Call of Duty. Did you see the Seth Rogen skin that they have now in Call of Duty? It's actually pretty funny because the only reason I would get this skin is for the finishers, because it seems like he's really bad at it. Like, remember Pineapple Express when they were like trying to fight but they couldn't, and they were just like, so there's one where he like tries to sneak up on a guy, like drops the gun and the gun like goes off and shoots the guy.
That's cool.
So it's like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So Overwatch 2 is very much still a game. I know we don't really play it anymore.
Nope, not at all.
But they have these amazing Street Fighter skins now.
Oh, that's cool.
That I'm like, God damn it. Like, if there was any reason to like pull me back into the game, like two of my favorite games ever, you're gonna pull me back in by merging them together. I mean,
that's pretty sweet.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I 100%ed Days Gone remastered.
Congratulations. Very nice.
Killed all the hordes, did all those things. It's one of the only games I've ever platinumed, and I'm happy to have done it twice now with this game. So and now with your Superman news, Injustice 3 is reportedly in development.
Interesting. I wouldn't say I love the Injustice games, but I did enjoy them.
I like the first because it used that storyline, which I think is brilliant. Yeah. The Dark Superman stuff I think is actually really cool. Great. I mean, that's really all I got for now.
All right, very good, Ryan.
Y'all ready for bisque?
Topic du jour, Ryan. Well, I'm glad you asked. It's the topic of the day. And today it is the final arc, Andor Season 2, episodes 10, 11, and 12. We jump to BBY 1. Episode 10 is entitled Make It Stop. Episode 11 is entitled Who Else Knows? Episode 12, Jeddah, Kyber, Erso. For the first time, because we've been doing this in arcs, and you can go back if you missed any of them, all spoiler full, but you can check out. We did a season 1 pod, and then we did the first three episode runs here. So let's do this first. What is your dork score for the season? Let's get that out of the way now, and then we can start to really unpack this thing. What is your dork score for Andor Season 2?
6.
Ooh, Ryan. I'm going 5.5, but I get why you and many others out there would give this a 6. So if you were following,
and I think I know why you're giving it a 5.5, but I'll let you say it.
I bet you do. I have 2 reasons. One, I am going to hold the first 7 episodes against it. Not that the 7 episodes by any stretch were bad. They weren't bad episodes. They were just a little bit of a slower burn. A lot happening, a lot of conversations. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 is as good of a 5-episode run in any television show ever, to the point IMDb, where you can go and you can grade each individual episode of a TV show. This came out this week. It's the first time ever a TV show has had episodes score 9.7 or higher for 5 straight episodes. It's never happened apparently. But that combined with, you know me, give me a little
recency
Darth
bias.
Also give me a little Darth Vader.
Yep.
No Vader, slow-ish 7 episodes. I'm knocking it down a half, but I'm going 5.5.
I think the Vader thing bugged you, or if it not Vader, at least Palpatine.
Vader, Palpatine. They at least mentioned Palpatine 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
They never mentioned Vader. Never mentioned him. Let alone you should have. He's such a badass at this time. There needed to be, and the fact that they even did it in Rogue One, and no offense to anybody who was in Rogue One, the best part was Vader.
And that was a great movie. And the best part in a great movie was him.
So I thought there at least would have been a mention, like, even like having to deal with him, or like even if Krennic had like a line about him, knowing that he's going to have a face-to-face with him shortly, because this obviously leads up directly into the beginning of Rogue One.
Of which Darth Vader was very much involved in the planning and the carrying out of that. Now, what would have been awesome too is like you had that awesome scene with like Dedra and Krennic.
Yes.
And to have Krennic like be like this, you know, kind of badass, like kind of scary dude to walk out and then get himself the shit scared out of him.
Yes.
Just to give you that weight of like, he's like the boogeyman, like everyone in the Empire, just like, because the first time you see him and like see him talk in that room when he like chokes the like, no one really like looks at him directly. You know, like, everyone's scared shitless of him.
Yeah.
That would have been great. I'm sure there is a version of this that does exist.
Yeah, and I wonder if they were like, oh, that might take away, because remember that bullshit like during WandaVision, they were like, they had a scene where they were gonna have like Doctor Strange in it, and then they were like, we don't want to do that. It's like, well, you probably should have. Like, you probably should have put him in it.
Right.
And this show still would have been amazing on its own. I think it just would have taken it to the next level. And Rogue One's the perfect example. Like Rogue One would have been a good movie without Darth Vader.
And just to say, to counter that point, I didn't hear anybody complaining when Luke Skywalker showed up in The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
that didn't take away anything.
Right? Yeah,
that made it better.
That was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty, and we talked last week about it, sort of guessing. I kind of had a feeling that it wasn't going to happen, but we're like, we don't need a lot of it. We don't need a whole episode. We just need breathing, or I would have settled for a reference or just something. And so that didn't happen. Now, those 5 episodes, starting with the Gorman Massacre in episode 8, the Mon Mothma escape in episode 9, the whole end of Luthen's story in episode 10, the escape, like getting Drea out in 11, the whole ending, and then how they wrap this thing up was awesome.
So good.
And where do you now place, now that his story's been told, how do you place Cassian Andor in the Star Wars character kind of like power rankings?
I mean, he's got to be top 10. I mean, this is the person who kind of like, whether he wanted to or not, is responsible for the entire rebellion.
The guy is super important. I mean, like there's so many people, so many major characters. Like this doesn't get done without Luthen. It doesn't get done without Clea. It doesn't get done without X, Y, and Z. Mon Mothma, like Mon Mothma is sneaky, maybe the MVP of this whole season and of this time for the rebellion.
But Cassian Andor saved her life several times. 100%. So it's like, you know, I think he's even more. I mean, you have someone like Saw Gerrera, who's supposed to be like this like badass guerrilla warfare fighter, and like he's helping him too. So all of this stuff, he's like the linchpin of all of this stuff.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, I would say Andor and Mothma both vault up like how important the characters are. I still don't know if he cracks my like favorite list, because a lot of my favorite list is force wielding people and like and some droids. Like I kind of like some droids, but he's great. I mean,
but it's great that like in the age of like the Suicide Squad and Thunderbolts, like he's a punch and shoot guy.
Yeah,
like he's a punch and shoot. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, there's things special, but like in terms of like force wielding and all of that, there's nothing special about him.
Well, he's a messenger, is what the force healer said. All right, so let's rip through some of this. So episode 10, Lonnie, who's been like a double agent, he tells Luthen about this weapon, right? So like the rebellion was obviously pushing back on the Empire this whole time, and they didn't know about the Death Star. They just knew they were bad. They knew they were up to something, but they didn't really know yet about the Death Star. And then Lonnie tells them about it, and I'll tell you what, Luthen mentions to Lonnie that they can go to Yavin.
Mhm.
And as soon as he said that, I was like, oh man, Lonnie's not making it out of this.
He's not going.
He's not he's not going. I'm like, he actually told him something like really important, and I'm like, he's gonna get got. And he gets
I think the title of the episode was it the next episode, Who Else Knows?
yeah, that's the next one. Yeah, that's when
Where
when they're talking to Krennic is interrogating Dedra.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be, very, very top secret because Lonnie has been spying on Dedra the whole time.
The whole time. She's got all her passwords.
That's right.
When your password is password 01, they're gonna get in there. They're gonna find your shit.
They're gonna get it for sure.
Luthen, so he gets the info from Lonnie, kills Lonnie. Clea mentions Galen Erso. So now here we go. We're off and running here. We know about Erso. Dedra versus Luthen. What a pretty amazing scene that is. These two waiting for them to cross paths. You had a knock at the door. Luthen's back at his shop, and there's Dedra on the other side. And then those two start out, and you're like, all right, how is this gonna go?
Right.
And it went poorly for Luthen, although the guy kind of went out like a ultimate badass.
That's where that's the only way it was gonna end for him. And I think he knew that. But it was cool that you get this little backstory.
Yes.
That's because the artifact that she presents to him, you don't know what that is. And she said it's like an Imperial star map or something.
Oh no, that's from season 1. That thing that she fucking dug out is from season 1, which was like what got him. That's from 6 years ago. So she had that, and then that's what opened up the whole thing with what was it, the annex or whatever, where they were going after. So what put Dedra onto them was that.
Oh, okay. See, I thought it was something to do with the ship that he was on with what's her name?
Who, Clea?
Clea, yeah. Well, I thought it had something to do with that, but I forgot. I forgot that was from all the way back then.
That was from season 1. So she's like, all right, she got him. But he I love this whole back and forth where he's talking about how he's like, there's a couple of fakes in here. And it's the way he was talking to her, I'm like, is he talking about them? He's talking about her? Is he talking about what's going on?
Yeah.
And then he picks up that blade. And my guess is at some point, with all the Star Wars stories being told, we're gonna find out where that blade, who actually had that blade.
Who that is
from 6,000 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Then he fucking cuts himself. Then they go out and it's a whole thing. You get the Luthen Clea backstory, which we didn't really know. That Clea, he basically raised her to be a rebel, essentially.
She's what, from Aliens? Who is it? Newt?
Yeah.
From Aliens.
Yeah. So she's on the team now, and then she goes there. Also good. So Cassian had the great episode 9 where he rescues Mon Mothma. The Cassian rescuing Clea is pretty sick too. And so she tells him about the super weapon. So it's a little game of telephone, right? Lonnie tells Luthen, who tells Clea, who tells Cassian. And you get some fucking incredible K2SO lines and action sequences.
Him using the guy as a shield.
The best.
And then you don't see it. You just kind of see the guy come into frame. He just fires him against a wall.
Chucks him. He's like,
I laughed out loud. I lolled.
It's also the way he's built and the way he moves, which is so funny. So there's all this violence, and then he just peers out in the thing. He's like, I made a path, Cassian. I created a path.
But also it's so funny too.
Droid now. I think he might be my favorite droid.
I love that his adherence to rules and regulations.
Yeah.
Or he's we shouldn't, and he has these. It's very droidish, but he does this guilt thing where he's just all right, well, I guess we're breaking rules now.
Yeah. Doesn't like it.
Yeah. No, it's a great person. The great personality in the two droids in this show.
Oh, really good. And when he gives that one dude a front kick to the chest, he just flips across.
It's like Charlie Murphy and Rick James.
Which begs the question, why?
That's an edit I need Billy D to make if he's listening. Then Charlie Murphy, he kicks him.
Kick to the chest plate. They're almost he's a little as the kids say, OP.
Yeah.
He's kind of unfair because they're in like a, back against the wall situation, literally back against the wall. They can't even close the door because they have no exit. And there's the three of them kind of like pinned down, and you have all these like stormtroopers coming after him. And then he just shows up and takes everybody out. It reminds me of in Harry Potter when like Dobby like really got unleashed. Yeah. Dobby was like unfair. Like he was so fucking like he had so much magic in him. Dobby like too much. I think they had to like reel back how much they used of Dobby.
Yeah. Wow.
Which doesn't I think when they were writing this and they wanted to make him the way that he was, if they gave Cassian K2SO 6 episodes earlier, there would have been like no problem.
Easy.
Like, got him, dude. He's fine.
Speaking of Doom, it's like giving you the BFG in like the second level. Like, that's okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're just gonna roll
I don't need anything else. Yeah.
We're just gonna roll through. Mon Mothma talking to Saw Gerrera. He's up on the sweet hologram thing.
He's in Jeddah. Right?
He's in Jeddah. Oh, yeah, of course he's in Jeddah. It's fucking this is Rogue One time now. So he's there. He knows, but he's like, you don't know where I am. They're like, yeah, dude, we know exactly.
You're on Jeddah. Like, stop.
Like, what the fuck do we look like here?
Yeah.
Although they do have like sort of like a creepy little House of the Dragon like round table going.
They do.
Which
is
Yavin.
pretty sweet.
It's not bad. Although I'll tell you, Bail Organa kind of a stick in the mud. Bail Organa doesn't.
He comes around though, doesn't he?
Doesn't believe Cassian. I still am perturbed, and maybe this is also why it's a 5.5. Get out of here! You can't get Jimmy Smits. You telling me you can't get Jimmy Smits? What the?
My guess is he wanted too much money.
Well, they said scheduling, but yeah, maybe
that's what that means.
Extra. But like, I don't think Jimmy Smits ever looked kind of like I don't know,
young.
No, he never looked young. But like Benjamin Bratt has an air about him where you're like
he was a hunk at one point. I don't know if Jimmy Smits ever was.
Oh, I think on my PD Blue days he was probably considered a hunk. Or you stand next to Denny Franz, but
that's right. I mean, I look like a hunk standing next to Denny Franz. He looks like what's Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah. I think he's no longer with us, but if he is,
oh, he's not.
Denny Franz? Look that up.
Wasn't he the first person to show his rear on like network TV?
I hope so.
I think that's true.
Franz?
Still alive.
Hell yeah. He's probably doing great too.
80 years old.
They should have gotten him to be fucking Bail Organa. No, the Smits thing pisses me off because I talked last week about how they make such an attempt to cast the same people. They even do holograms for people that have died. Like they really go out of their way to make it one story. And then like to be like Benjamin Bratt is the same Jimmy Smits from episode 2, 3, and Rogue One.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. No, but I'm saying like Benjamin Bratt doesn't he have like a little bit of like a sinister look to him? I don't get that. I don't get that with Jimmy Smits.
No, he's kind eyes.
Yeah.
Although he did play in one of my favorite 80s movies, Running Scared with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines. He did play a drug dealer.
I prefer the other Running Scared with Paul Walker and Vera Farmiga. Yeah, that's a film. So did you find it bullshit though that round table didn't believe Cassian? I mean, Mon Mothma kind of did, but it's like you guys, this whole thing that you're doing is versus the Empire. And then he's like, guys, they're making a super weapon. They're like, I don't know, dude, that sounds kind of crazy.
I'm like, no, they're not.
Like, wait, what?
What do you mean?
Best line of the whole thing was when they were questioning Cassian, and he's like, well, I did like rescue fucking Mon Mothma. And they're like, touche. Because
you did do that.
Because Jimmy Smits fucking, if it was up to Jimmy Smits, she would have been caught and killed.
Yeah, right.
He had his crew, his shitty crew.
Yeah. Well, also, he didn't know that.
He should have, though.
Right?
No, but that was that great line from before, though, when they were like, when Mon Mothma goes to Jimmy Smith or goes to Bail Organa, she's like, do you trust your guys? He's like, yeah. She's like, do you know your guys? He's like, no, I don't know him. I don't know him, but I trust him.
He seems all right.
I also was looking, I was really eagle-eyed. I didn't see Chopper. You know, when they pan out on Yavin, you see a lot of people running around. I thought we might see Chopper.
I didn't see him either.
He's in Rogue One.
Oh, that's funny.
He is. You could see him in Rogue One, but he's not in this. Cassian does see the Force healer before he leaves, and she gives him a look. And I know that look from movies. And that look is, this is sad. You're going to die.
This is it for you.
Yeah, you're done after this. But
one-way trip.
Good seeing you here. Yeah. Pack light. And then how about this? The very end of it, Bix has a kid.
It blows your heart, blows your heart apart a little bit.
Blows your heart.
I was saying blows my mind, breaks my heart, but it blows my heart too.
It blew my heart.
And it just I was just
everywhere.
I said, I think I texted you after. I was like,
Yeah.
Like the last shot is just like her looking up at the sky, and she's back on that planet, the corn planet. She's back on planet Nebraska. And
although
she's just like,
she's playing Nebraska. She with Tommy Frazier and Lawrence Phillips. Also, though, B2 Emo was there. So this is actually a satisfying ending for B2 Emo, because my guess is he now grows up with this kid, and we're going to see this kid again, and he's going to be with B2 Emo.
That's right. And I think there's another story here.
Oh my God.
With the kids. We're Black Panthering it too. So we have a kid.
Let me timeline this thing for you. Is Force Awakens, I think ABY like 34 maybe.
So he could be an adult person.
He's like 30. He's like 35 years old.
Could it be? No, couldn't be. Maybe.
Is he Kylo Ren?
Is he Ryan Gosling?
Oh, good question. Oh,
because that Starfighter movie's coming out with him. Is that who he is? Is he Andor's kid?
When does that take place? Do we know? Have they said?
Because I think it's between. No, I think it's between Force Awakens and Last Jedi, or Return of the Jedi.
Oh, so I guess it depends on how soon it is. Because Return of the Jedi, the kid would be young as shit. The kid would be like 6, I think.
No, I think it's in between.
Okay, so he might be too old. Meaning Gosling's too old.
Youthful look to him.
He does have a youthful way about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're definitely going to see him. There's so many Star Wars stories, whether it's animated or live action. We will see that kid again. Do you think she just names the kid Cassian? Also, we couldn't really tell if it was a dude or a girl. I don't think we
couldn't tell.
Okay.
Just as it's a baby.
Do you want that kid to be Force sensitive, or are you kind of hoping that it is not?
It runs in families, right? So it shouldn't.
Yeah, but they've sort of like opened the door up to like everybody can be. Like Sabine Wren is like being trained now in Ahsoka.
But she's not really but she wasn't really Force sensitive. Their midichlorian count was down. It was not.
See, I think it'd be better if she's not, because Andor and Bix, like, so both parents weren't Jedi and they're both badass. Like they're both.
Neither was Grievous, by the way. Wasn't a Jedi either.
General Grievous?
Who's not? Yeah. He wasn't, but he had lightsabers. He was trained.
Yeah, he murdered all those.
He wasn't a Jedi though. He was trained by Dooku, but not a Jedi.
Yeah, all right. So there's something there. But this also got me leading the question: is Andor season 1, Andor season 2, and Rogue One the best Star Wars trilogy?
On its face, yes. Nostalgia aside, like, is it the best written? Is it the best acted? Yes.
Yeah. Now it's obviously unfair. I know there's a lot of pushback. Like, that's 2 shows, a movie versus 3 movies. So I get that it's unfair, and it probably doesn't count for our next episode. But I think it might be. Although then I went to weigh this out, and if you give, like I did, I think I gave season 1, season 2, and Rogue One all like 5.5s.
Yeah.
And the first 2 Star Wars movies I'd give a 6, and then Return of the Jedi I'd probably go like 4.5. They equal like the same number. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty much a wash.
If you ask me what the 3 best, I'm going to tell you like what's the 3 best Star Wars movies I can watch, like the original 3, 4, 5, 6.
Really?
Well, I mean, that's just if you're going to watch it, watch those. If someone's like, I'm only going to watch 3, do I watch Andor or do I watch 3 Star Wars? I'd be like, watch those if you're going to watch any of them, just so you know what I mean? I
would probably go. I mean, I'm a completionist, Ryan, as you know, so I would tell people to watch all of it, watch every second of everything. Sure. But I would probably just say 4, 5, Rogue One. I mean, you want to see the story end with Return of the Jedi, but Rogue One's such a better movie than Return of the Jedi to me.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you kind of have to watch all of them. And then even we did a rewatch of Revenge of the Sith. That's also a nice time.
It is a nice time.
And that's even
saying if it's bad, but
that's a good 3 if you want to sit down and watch Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, A New Hope. That's a nice time.
That is a nice time.
Nobody's pissed about that.
It would be jarring to go from Rogue One to New Hope.
Yeah.
Just visually, that would be jarring. But
It is. Although as soon as Andor season 2 was over, I started watching Rogue One. I popped that fucker right back on.
Yeah.
It was the number one movie on Disney Plus, like streaming. See that?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
Everybody's hog deep in it right now. So yeah, that's our thoughts on Andor season 2. Davey's going 6. I'm going 5.5. You guys can let us know what your Andor season 2.
I think this is I don't know how often this happens that I rank something higher than you do.
Yeah, you gotta go back to Evil Dead Rise.
I did like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. There might have been oh, you know what it was? I think that movie Civil War, which really wasn't about Civil War at all.
That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, you like that one more than me in this one. But you're right. Yeah, normally I'm a good half stone high easy grader. I don't grade things like you do.
I do it every day.
I'm not used to it. So
yeah, you gotta leave them room to grow here. You know, you can't if you get hundreds on everything, I'm not teaching you anything.
Good point. Right? No, that's true. Do you think we ever see Cassian Andor in anything ever again?
Yes, I think you see him again, like I don't know what context though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that might, I mean, it's such a well done. It's Star Wars, so I would leave the door open for anything. You could always do once they eventually tell the story of his kid in whatever that is, TV show or movie. I could see maybe like Bix telling him stories, and then we see him in flashbacks or shit like that. But anyway, hit us up on Twitter and Instagram. And oh, you know what? Fuck, I have an announcement. I'll do it at the beginning of the next episode, though.
Okay, teaser.
I have a teaser. I meant to tease at the beginning, and I just completely blanked.
All right,
I fumbled it. Fumbled the snap, coach.
Botched it.
I fucked up, guys. But I'll do that to start the next episode. But we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram and YouTube at Dork Podcast for all those places. Tell a friend, tell a dork, and in the meantime, Ryan promised me a million times over, you will never do another rule.
No, I'm not doing that.
The hashtag Dork Podcast.